Trollord Games. Join the fray.
Stream 1 hour longer of me doing this.
No, it's a bad idea.
I think it's a great idea.
You're live.
Are we live?
We're live.
Have we arrived at the TLG Twitch channel this Tuesday afternoon, November 4th, 2025? I had to think about that. I couldn't remember what actual year it was. They're all just kind of running together at this point. How's it going, everybody? I think we're like a couple of days from Veterans Day, no, Memorial Day, Armistice Day, Remembrance Day.
There's a holiday today.
Is it really?
For some people, election day. My daughter was off because she works for the government.
You know, I don't really like holidays very much.
Really?
I think that we should go to a 6-day work week, you know, on average 80 hours a week. I think it's just good for the soul. But we should have election day off so everybody can just go vote. Just go vote. Or don't vote. Do what you want to do. That's what freedom is all about, right? I don't care what people do. My name is Stephen Chenault, CEO of Trollord Games. This is Ask Me Anything, where we ramble off whatever questions you have about whatever we're doing around here, crowdfunding campaigns we've got, you know, all of it and any of it, any movies I've watched. I watched a fantastic movie a couple of days ago, so that's on the table as well. Anything you have, throw at me. I'll do my best to answer it, and if I can't answer it, Chuck will feed me some bullshit that I will make up, and we'll just throw some information. What do they call it now? Is it disinformation? Or that's old. It's misinformation now, right?
I thought it was called clarity.
Called what?
Clarity.
Well, I think it used to be, I think when the bad guys gave you wrong information, it was called disinformation. And somewhere in the last 5-6 years, we changed it to misinformation. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All I know is that I'm hard at work on the Dwarven Trace, the next aired expansion book, which I should be done with Friday, and we should have out in the next week or two. Because we got a convention coming up, and we got a Kickstarter we're shipping. So all kind of stuff's going on. But have you seen... Monkey says, have you seen Over the Garden Wall? I have not seen that movie. The title is intriguing, I will tell you. So I'm going to go to YouTube real quick because this is how I keep my brain fresh with these things. And I'm going to type in the word trailer.
Good.
Over the Garden Wall. All right. I'm not going to watch it right now. I'll watch it after the stream.
Are you
see
sure?
If that's something I'm interested in.
Now
Generally speaking, Monkey, do what, Chuck?
No, I was gonna say that movie you sent over. We're gonna watch it tomorrow night. The one you sent me. I saw the trailer. I didn't watch it though. I could tell right away. It looked.
Yeah, it's something. Generally speaking, when I'm watching movies that are now, I can enjoy just about any kind of movie. There's very few movies. Slasher films is about it. That's the only thing I don't particularly enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
But I can watch just about anything and enjoy it. But if you ask for my druthers, I'm always going to. I want to watch something about small-time crooks or people just down on their luck trying to make it out of some, you know, situation that their own foolishness or luck or whatever has gotten them into.
It's like,
as they read through, with no big characters and no big story arcs and no universal, you know, aliens coming in and Iron Man making a suit out of it, whatever.
So Road to Perdition is what you're saying. Road to Perdition. I got you.
Road to Perdition. That's pretty good, but that's again kind of a big thematic thing. Yeah, the one that always comes to mind is a movie called Small Town Criminal. I don't know. The only actor that I know, I don't even know his name. He's a black guy that starred in the sitcom called Blackish. Funnier, great guy. I absolutely love this dude. He has a supporting role in this, and it's basically this guy in his Charger, I guess, finds a dead body on the side of the road, and he becomes kind of vested in trying to figure out who she was.
Yeah, I've not seen. I see it.
And where she. Yeah, it's a small town criminal, right?
Yeah, John Hawkes.
Yeah, so it's just the story of this guy trying to solve this murder or death that nobody cares about, and it's just cool, well written, good stories that always take place in
small town crime.
Small town crime. That's
okay.
What
all right, then. I was getting a little bit of a weirdness there. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that guy, Anthony Anderson. He's great. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely love that dude. He is absolutely fantastic at anything he does, and he's great in that movie. I watched Americana over the weekend with the only person I know in it is Sydney Sweeney, and there's a
Right.
Native American actor that I don't know his name, but I absolutely love this guy. He is man, is he good on screen? He's like Jimmy Stewart, and anything he does, he just carries it without having to do much. But the movie Americana, strongly recommend. It begins with um, a fake proposal in a diner somewhere in Montana or something, and ends up on the wildest ride you'll see. It's just absolutely fantastic movie. It's my movie recommendation for the day. We got any other questions that float up, Chuck? Or I could ramble on about movies
Yeah,
forever.
I got some. KevCon asks, and this he's actually got our newest thing for Davis to work on.
Wait.
What?
Before you
All
do it, I just saw a post by Grace, and Grace says, Over the Garden Wall is one of my favorites. Excellent show. Best watching a marathon as a movie. I'm not believing that. Grace has never seen any movies or TV shows.
Did
So
she?
someone
She's in here.
has-
Okay.
Someone has hijacked Grace's moniker there, and it's
That's
making
hilarious.
stuff up. So, all right. Well,
Who is this person? Anyway, so KevCon has found our next title for Davis to write. Okay. Are there any books that go over designing traps or monsters for castles and crusades?
No. We do have a section in the Castle Keeper's Guide that covers the ecology of all the monsters that you find in the Monsters and Treasure book, but it's not a designing section. And then we have some very, very brief kind of how-tos in the Monsters and Treasure on that, but that's it. We don't. That's a great idea. Engineering traps. Old friend of mine, Casey Christopherson, would be great at an engineering traps book. I may have to read. That's a great idea, Kev. That is a fantastic idea. Not sure it's up Davis's alley. Might be. I'd have to ask him, but certainly not mine. I don't know how. I can't do it. The reason I can't do traps is I can't envision how they work.
Oh my God, they're
So-
great. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but no. In the practicality of things, like what was the mechanism when Indiana swapped the gold for the statue out and the little thing slides into the
Mhm.
stone, and then that caused something to cause something to cause something to cause something. I want to know how. I need to know how all of that.
Oh well, that's your first mistake. You don't
Yeah.
worry about it. It's like trying to
Absolutely.
explain a spell, right? I
Yeah,
mean, because the
absolutely.
party's not going to spend 2 hours breaking through the wall and tearing the mechanics out to look at. They're going to move the hell on, right? Or you drop a
Yes.
monster and they move on, whichever, right?
That's the way I should look at it, but I don't, and that's why I never use traps, except
That's fair.
like the spring trap that pulls you up in a tree.
When I was running a lot of online games, I backed a
Yes,
Kickstarter.
Fedora.
I backed a Kickstarter one time that had trap doors, like nothing but doors, tons of doors. And there was one
Yeah.
door, of course, that literally, whenever you tried to open it after unlock it wouldn't do anything until you actually physically opened it up. And whoever opened it up, it was like a vampire. It was wild. There's some wild shit out there. But anyway, I can
All
tell
right,
you.
what's the next?
All right, next is Odd One Man says, so your new house is out. What is your plan?
The new building is out, so we are re-investigating building in that same spot that we have.
Oh,
I'm talking to the city planners at the moment. It's not looking good. So I am still looking for land or another spot to land the troll or to settle the troll lords. We've not stopped or slowed down. As I'm sure everybody knows, the market's in a state of flux at the moment, and real estate is kind of dipping a little bit here in Arkansas. We're usually immune for that type of thing, but I'm not seeing real estate pop up for sale in the vicinity, in the area that I need it to be. So we'll keep an eye out. And in the meantime, we'll keep kind of wrestling with BB and see if we can't get a better understanding of the code books and the permits and the processing to build going forward, and maybe doing more of it ourselves. For instance, the fence that needs to go around the whole property, as I'm coming to realize. Me and Dakota and my sons and my nephew may just go out there and build it ourselves. It would probably take us 3-4 days, but that may be what we have to do. So we will see.
I don't know if Jeremy mentioned it to you, but I mentioned to him I had him investigate variances and see if that's something you could try with them.
Yeah.
But anyway, whatever. Okay. Next question up is, this is from the Obsidian Odeer. Question: what's the story for why the Player's Guide to Arid isn't sold on the TLG website? Sorry if this was answered before.
It is not. That book has been out of print for quite a while. I think that you can get it on DriveThruRPG. So the Player's Guide to Arid introduced racial classes, and these in the original Codex of Arid, ERDE, there were some racial classes in there. Then we just dropped them for whatever reason. I can't remember why. And so when we did the Player's Guide to Air, we brought those back in. It was a good place to house the rune mark as well. So we brought that in, and then I put in a bunch of material that's very specific for the races that are in Air: dwarves, elves, halflings, gnomes. I think the elves got the biggest treatment. Maybe the dwarves, I can't remember. But that book itself has been kind of chopped up and scattered about. All of the rune spells and the rune magic and the rune mark itself were shipped into or placed into the adventurer's backpack and the adventurer's spell book. The racial classes were also put in there. Bits and pieces were put in other books as well. The only thing really that's, once the adventurer's backpack comes back out in print, the only thing in that book that won't be in print is the Eardian material, the background for elves and whatnot. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I'm working on the Dwarven Trace right now, and what I'd kind of like to do is take that material and put it into this aired expansion material. Where I'm torn is should I take like the dwarves and put that whole story of the dwarves in the Dwarven Trace, so it just becomes part of that book, or do I do an aired expansion book based solely on the races, which I think that's kind of where I'm leaning. So you can get that, and this is dwarves, this is blah blah blah. That's sort of where I've kind of landed. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think here in the stream. Would you rather see that background material for the races in its own book, or kind of sprinkled throughout the Eardian expansion books? But most of the material there has been scattered and into other books, and the last of it is going to find a home very, very soon. And just to let everybody know, the stream, and I thank the stream for this, called me out a few months ago as I was ranting about a particular author who hadn't finished some famous work of his that had to do with games and thrones and whatnot. I can't remember the guy's name or what the series is actually called, but I was I was called out for not finishing Alfstrag and the aired material. I took it to heart, and I am hammering out. I am hammering out my expansion books as fast as I can get them. I finished one last month. I'll finish another one this week and get on to the next one next week as well. So we'll see how fast I can get.
You completely ambushed me with that. You know that. I was not.
Can't remember the guy's name.
I literally choked all my water like bad. That was terrible. Funny. All right. Question from Death Angel's Shadow. When will F'd Up Fridays make a return? Oh, at Crane Rights. Oh, I guess he did mention. Anyway.
So F'd Up Fridays is
kind of
a great
fucked up
concept. It in itself is fucked up. Every time Dakota goes on a convention, it kills the thing. Or Grace goes on a convention, it kills it. They're going to a con in Akron?
Dayton, Ohio. That's the Catacon. Yeah, Monkey, I saw you and Leroy hanging out in the chat there. I can't wait to see you guys. It'll be good. He's got a question here in a minute coming up.
Yeah, so that kind of wrecks the schedule a little bit. And Friday's just murky around here. So we'll bring it back. We'll keep doing it. There's plenty of stuff that's it's fucked up around here.
Yeah. We might just do like plan streams for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. KevCon, can we add engineering magical item creations to the list as well?
Todd is already working on that, interestingly enough.
Really?
Yeah, Todd is.
Cool.
He's supposed to be turning me over
Todd.
3 magic items a day. Yes, Todd.
Our
Gray.
Todd.
Yes, our Todd.
Excellent.
But he hasn't turned over any in about 3 weeks. I'm not sure where we are. I got caught up in the adventurer's backpack.
Listen,
with that thing.
I will vote to harangue him for you if you want me to. I don't care.
Do so. What's cool about Todd's creation process, because he doesn't. I mean, he's a good game master. He is, but he would infinitely prefer to play. And he loves magic items, but he doesn't really like powerful magic items. He likes things that just kind of enhance the role-playing aspect of your character or the story.
Minor magic items.
Minor things. So he's really, really good at that. And he was sending those over pretty regularly. I need to get on him and hound him about that. He needs encouragement from the Troll Lords to finish a project, as many people around here do. Miss. What is the one Chuck's working on? I was going to do a whole joke. I can't remember the title of it.
Moving on. Let's see.
Quickly.
Monkey Jest 808 asks, will merch be for sale at Catacon? I hope so, because we have 20 games there, which is more than any other publisher. I'm so thrilled about that. More than Pathfinder, or I mean, that's not a ton of games, but it's good for us.
You know who I wish I could mimic from Office Space the boss, the guy that in the tie and the suspenders.
Oh my God!
What is
Yes.
he? What is he always saying? He's like, "Yeah, about that," or something. I can't remember. I'm gonna look it up.
Can you get those TPS reports over to me?
Yeah, yeah.
that guy was
That's one of the greatest movies ever made. Oh,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. I'm gonna have to perfect that. Right. Everybody knows. Everybody but Grace knows Office Space because Grace hasn't seen it. So,
But she has seen the garden. She has seen the garden movie, so there's that.
yeah, still not buying that she's seen Over the Garden
Okay.
Wall. Not
Right on.
so,
Right on. So, do you think Dakota will have any merch there at all? Even some T-shirts or anything? I don't know.
yeah,
I really
probably.
don't.
We really don't have a lot left. We did that merch box thing a couple weeks ago. I can't remember what we did. So there's T-shirts, but we've only got a smattering of the cups left, and the pouches. I think that's about it. Now I believe Grace is in the process of ordering us some mouse pads. So we got those coming in, but they certainly will not be here by
What we need is one of those printers. We can make our own.
Thursday. Do what?
That printer I showed you. Can you imagine the merch we could make with that?
Now we found out it's out in January. I talked to Dakota. It's going to be added to his list of crap to do. So.
What's that? That printer I showed you?
Oh yeah.
That's pretty awesome, isn't it? Anyway,
Yeah.
that plays into our meeting next week about EW. But anyway.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Question. Okay. I got that billiard. We'll run back. He's asking about Richard's backpack. I told him we will do that at the top of the hour. Let's see. Portholus, Rick, how you doing, buddy? Is it possible to ban? Wait a minute. Oh. Is it possible to ban Stephen from Dr. Pepper until the printing building is built? Think of it as motivation.
It would never get built.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I would lose my focus. I cherish my Dr. Pepper time. So.
Let's see. What is new right now? Ogwin Man asks, and that I'll follow in with another question of somebody has a question about. Let's see. When I go to copy these, sometimes they jump. Yeah, KevCon asked at the same time. What is the next new adventure in publication pipeline? So anything new coming out?
So we've got the Crusader number 29 just released, and with it all of the compendiums. There's 5 compendiums for Crusaders 1 through 25, so those are all out as well. The expansion book, the Tarvine Belt expansion book, just came out 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, so that's out. Those are all brand new and in the store. Coming up in the very, very near future, we will have these 2 knuckleheads, Codex Exaltum and Codex Infernum. The Kickstarter is shipping now, so as soon as I'm comfortable with a good chunk of those are out of the gate, we'll put those up on the store. And then adventure-wise, Crusader 30 is slated to come out this Christmas, and I've got an adventure in there called the Tally of Fiends, so that will be a new adventure there. And the Adventurer's Backpack, it too should be out just before Christmas.
And maybe even Tomb of Unclean, maybe.
Yeah.
And maybe even Skirmishes too. So maybe.
Yeah. So we got a lot of little things, but we got quite a few coming off. We're hoping for 3 more hardcover books this year, and another 2 to 3 Arid expansion books, and at least 1 more Crusader. That is the plan.
Let's see. Oh, Starlaw appears of you from a cliff gnawing on a bone. That's another question. Sorry. Hey, Starlaw. Good to see you. A question from Touch of Evil. Are there any unique mercenary companies in Arid? Oh, that's a good question.
Not like specifically mercenary companies that I've named because the world is X, but the Cult of the Swords is what you're looking for. That is the largest band of fighters and warriors and barbarians and whatnot where you would go to any one of their guild houses to raise a company of mercenaries, and the companies are going to be mostly in the employ down in New Anach, Augsburg, Aachen, and Maine, for the most part, is where those mercenary companies are going to be employed. Kaomar would not employ them, nor would Anglame, maybe some of the counties. And the companies are going to generally be named after their captain. But I haven't actually developed any freebooting companies. That would be kind of cool. In the Renaissance period during the 1400s, 1500s, there was professional mercenary companies that bore their own flags and fought battles all over the place, which is really, 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 really cool.
Okay. Let's see. Death Angel Shadow asks more merch. These people. Where can I get my TLG baseball cap? Oh yeah, baseball caps, yeah. And some more shirts, including some with die Sublimation printing. Oh, clever. Okay, that would be cool, Jeff. I wish we had the budget to make all kinds of wild shit. I really do.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
I do too. I keep meaning to get Dakota a hat press so that we can start making.
I'd be all over
You know,
that. Then you'd have
maybe
problems
the-
with me. You'd have problems. No, not really. I just want one.
I think it would be cool. And honestly, I'm not a huge advocate of merch around here.
Yeah.
Only because I think that it's one of those things that publishers get caught up in. We build all this merch, spend a lot of money on merch, building it up, and it doesn't move as well, so it ends up crowding all over the place. T-shirts move pretty good. The dice, when we have them in stock, move pretty good. But I suspect that baseball caps would move very well. I think that I would be happy with those, everybody popping those on their heads and moving on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Remember those guys were into that weird Gary Con that made their own custom orange shirts for their gaming guild with CNC? Remember that? That was cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Ignis Latro, where can I find more details on flintlocks? On the flintlock?
So the flintlock was, I'm pretty sure it was cut, wasn't it? It's not in the book at all. So the flintlock is a set of hills. It's really irritating. It's actually an extremely, no, it is in the book. Okay. So the flintlock, and nobody can see what I'm pointing at, but it's right here. This is the flintlock right in there, and it's not on the map. It's very irritating that it somehow got cut from the map, because the flintlock was very, very important in the Winterdark Wars between the Dwarven Grunley Hole folks and the gnomes that dwell in there, and then the folks of Outbrag and the humans and whatnot. So when I get to that section, and I'll pull the map up. It's going to take me a second.
Yeah, because we're updating the map all the time, constantly, and doing all that. So
yeah, so a couple of things that we're doing. I'm going to get this thing open first before I really make an idiot of myself. So that's going to be book number 16, which is the Vorarlberg Basin. I'm going to read right now. I'm writing. So there's 16 books in the Arid expansions. I've written 8 of them, I think, and I'm on the 9th. And I'm going to do, after this, I'm going to do area 3, 2, 1. And maybe 16. Maybe I'll do 16 before that. But as soon as I write book 16 of that, and that's not 16 books from today, that's just number 16. So it'll be like 8 books from today. So in the next 4 or 5 months, I'm hoping to have all these done. That's where you'll get more on the flintlock. I'll take that, what's in the codex, and kind of blow it up and expand it as necessary. So it's coming for sure.
Well, Manfred said he thought they were deleted because no one wants guns in their fantasy game. We thought that too, but I now realize that maybe that's a thing now.
Wait, is he talking about flintlock, the guns, or the hill?
Yeah, I think your answer was correct with the Ignis, but I think Manfred's just rolling in with a good snarky comment.
Oh, yeah. Got it. All right.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Questions, kind of not a question, but you should use all that there is here and about and make a compaction for adventures for CNC. So some smaller adventures. Your suggestion, Odd One Man, maybe.
So I will say Jeremy sent this over the other day. He's experimenting with this new kind of adventure approach, and I think it's actually making the rounds outside of TLG as well. Bullet point adventures, where it really just has the key information that you need to play an adventure, and I think that would be kind of cool. I'm not sure layout wise how that works. I mean, if you took the Tally of Fiends, if I broke the Tally of Fiends down and took all of the flavor text and all of the explanatory text and all of the background text down of it, I think it was 16,000 words, maybe 17,000 words. You'd cut it down to about 1,000 words, which is about a page or maybe 2 pages. So I'm not sure presentation wise how that works. I think it would be very cool to have that type of stuff. But for instance, binding a book that's less than 20 pages is a nightmare. I mean, it's an absolute nightmare.
Really 30, 24 is better than
24 and above is really where we want to be. 20 is pushing that zone where the binder doesn't, the sensors don't detect it. There's not enough weight to push down. So that what you end up doing is, so when you bind a book, your book block comes across the grinding wheel, goes through the glue, gets glue on the bottom and on the sides, and it comes over your cover. And then there's a clamping mechanism on the nipping table that does this. Now the weight of the book will push it down just a smidgen. So as the nips come in, it crushes them and pulls the whole thing down and tightens it all together. Well, if the book is under 20 pages, and we've known this for years, if it's under 20 pages, despite what the machine says it can do, it can't really pull. There's not enough paperweight to actually, for the machine to grab it and pull it down. and then you end up with a flat piece of paper with paper just kind of glued to it, falling all cattywonk in every which direction. So, and then you have to throw the book on trash because it doesn't work.
All right.
And Dakota found out that the hard way.
Let's see. Real quick, I've got one more question here to throw at you, and then we'll switch over to updates. From Matthew Blackwell, I just started Beneath the Canopy Green, but love to see more adventure books like that. Any plans for anything like that? Do you mean as an actual series, or you mean just because they all have the theme of the Darkenfold, I guess, right? So I don't know.
Well, that one does. So the next adventure book you're going to see like that is we're going to bring back in January 3rd, I believe, is the start date. We're going to launch a Kickstarter for the Abstract books, the first 5 levels, and then adding levels to that. Stretch rewards and whatnot. And the first 5 levels are already written, and we're going to do all of Abstract like that. I believe that's how we're going to do it, as opposed to 21 little books you have to buy over time. So that will be the next one. I was actually talking to Davis about doing a new Isaiah one, but he's not interested in doing that at the moment. I'm not sure why. We're gonna combine more. It's just easier on y'all's ends to run it, at the table, as opposed to having multiple books you got to sort through all the time. And as our catalog gets bigger, it's easier for us just to manage because we just got less books.
Yeah. All right, let's go to some updates. What's going on with Kickstarters and new stuff coming out? All that stuff.
All right, we only got 3 Kickstarters in the works that haven't shipped. That's I think that's right. No, 4. I'm sorry, 4 Kickstarters. There's Infirmament and Exaltum, and that's rolling out the door now. You'll be glad to know that Dakota and I decided, as opposed to folding your poster maps of Hell and the Wretched Plains, instead of folding those, we're rolling them. So it is taking a little bit longer than we wanted, but you're going to get a much better. It's not going to be in a tube, but it'll be rolled in the box. So it won't get damaged. We'll peanut around it, so it'll be good. Put it in 3-inch boxes. But anyway, so you're not going to see the crease line on the thing. It is taking us a little longer, blah, blah, blah. So anytime we try to improve product, it takes us longer to do it. But at this point, I think adding another day or so isn't going to make that big of a difference on this project because it's so damn late anyway. So that's going out the door right now. The Adventurers Backpack, Gracie sent over about a page of edits. I'm going to put those in the morning. I wanted it to go to the printers yesterday. Didn't get the edits in today. Get them in the morning, and then we're going to put it out for about 2 more days for people to look at and look over, and for me to do a final. There's a couple of gaps that I kind of want to plug some art into, and let everyone look at it. And as soon as I get the price quote back from Walsworth, then we ship that off. So that should be Thursday, no later than Monday. But the Adventurers Backpack off to the printers. For the Gygaxian Fantasy World Series, we're really making steam now. We've got a little bit of steam going. We've got 4 books completed. Living Fantasy, Book of Names, Canteen Crew, Essential Things, and Essential something. We changed the title from World Builder to something. And Next Builder is being laid out right now. I have pulled the cover from the Guide to Adventure Writing, and we are heavily debating as to whether we want to use it for the next printing of the Player's Handbook. Primarily because, one, I love that cover, and it's more kind of action-packed than the other GFW. It doesn't fit with the other 10 covers in there. And all of those covers were supposed to have a portal on them, and this is the only one that doesn't. It's also the only one that's full canopy, so it just doesn't fit with what the other 9 covers are doing. So I pulled that. We're going to do something else with that, get a new cover on the Adventurers Writing, and I'll get all this all in an update in the next few days. And then Mel is wrapping up the art. We're having a lot of fantastic art done for the Wayland Smith catalog, and then that'll fall into layout. I'm hoping that by Christmas, all of these books are ready to go, and we can get them to the printers and out and in everybody's hands first of the new year. Castle Zagged, first cover's done. We're making great progress. Svetlana's making great progress on the maps. She sent me over the mock-up for Yigsburg, so that should be, approved and done by, not done, but approved and moving forward in the morning. Jason sent me over the mock sketch. Davis probably posted it on Twitter. I gave it to him. I don't know if he did. For what Castle Zagged Ruins, that's volume 2, is going to be. And Mike Stewart I've had him, he turned over levels 2 and 3, and I've had him revisit level 2 quite a bit. I want him to add quite a bit, so he's back on level 2, kind of hammering on that. So we're making great progress on Castle Zagged, and currently it is on target for releasing. I'm going to the printers in March. We have 2 crowdfunding campaigns planned in the near future. One's on January 3rd. This will be for Alfstrag, first 5 levels of Alfstrag. And the next one we're doing in conjunction with a bunch of publishers, Goodman Games, Paizo, just a whole bunch, Cobalt Press, a whole bunch of publishers get together, and we'll be doing the the fourth and fifth and final volumes of the Castle Sagging stuff. We'll be going to Kickstarter in April, I believe. So there's your crowdfunding news. I hope that we'll get some updates out tomorrow too. I'll get with Grace, and we'll get that.
Okay. We've got some more questions, but I think we'll switch to those after we do the. You want to do them now? Or you want to do the aired stuff?
Let's knock them out, and then we can dive into aired.
Okay, we'll make it quick then. Monkey Just, I can answer this if you want. He's asking, is there possible spell cards? We are working on something right now with a group of folks. Will be more information later coming down the pike. You not have to convince us. We've got things working on that. Oh, interesting. This is from Jacob Zebron. Are there any special jousting rules for Castles of Crusades?
There was a game we did called Melee. I don't know where it is, and it had all of the jousting rules in there. Man, I hadn't thought about it in a while.
I'm putting that in my notes right now. I'll hand it.
Because it's somewhere in the archive of trollness. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not
Scott,
at
current, we have them somewhere. Go ahead, Chuck.
I was going to say, Scottish Jeff, a buddy of ours, he's playing with Guild Superior tonight. I think Grace is playing there. I'm going to drop the link in there for folks. Go check him out. What time's the game, Jeff? Did you say? I'm going to go back to see what you said. Yeah, that's good. Go over and I don't know what time it is, but there's the link. You guys can go follow it and check it out. Jeff, you want to put it in the chat there? Just 7 Central. Okay, right on. That's great. Let's see. Alwyn Man says, now you're making stuff for others to play. How is it for you making stuff and find time to play? How do you find time to play anything?
Finding time to play is actually very difficult.
Yeah, for sure.
We've not done my Thursday game in weeks and weeks. It's kind of sad. We're running a Monday night game here in the Troll Dens.
Right.
But finding time to play is it's rough.
Let's see. Manfred added tubes add so much cost of shipping. It's good they fit in the box. Rolled is infinitely better.
Yeah.
Let's see. A Beard 996 asks, any news on Barzoom? Will it use a version of Siege or its version of Siege or its own version of Siege?
It'll have its own with a very heavy dose from Amazing Adventures, but it'll be its own thing. And that Kickstarter is tentatively planned for second quarter. No, third quarter in the summer of next year.
Yeah. Okay. Our last question, then we'll get into aired because I want to hit that up. This is from Manfred. Any chance the jousting rules would be in Altamira or wherever? He's wanting to know if we'll probably print them somewhere.
I don't really know where we'll put that stuff. We are slowly compiling a Castle Keeper's Guide 2. I think that would really be the place to put them. To be honest, there's just all these kind of things like this that we're talking about. Davis is working on. What do you guys call it? I don't use this terminology, but you guys do. The hex crawls. Davis is working on hex crawls rules, so that'll go in the CKT2 as well. So probably my best guess would be that. A great place would be the Adventures Backpack, but that book is jam packed with stuff. I got no more page room in that book.
No. All right, let's swing over. We're going to talk about Aired for just a little bit. And then we can talk about what's going down with all that.
So today we're going to talk about Deep Harrow. Deep Harrow is a land in the Blaudun Timberland. The Blaudun Timberland is this forested region that exists north of Valence Cave. The Blaudun Timberland is the remnants of what once used to be a giant forest called the Ethvold. And for those of you familiar with the map, that's this map there. I think you could probably make out the Ethvold. So this is the Blaudun Timberland. The Ethvold covered this entire area from the Darkenfold all the way up. It was this gigantic forest, and it was the hunting ground of the goddess Tefnut. She is one of the named Val Eric. And her home, her palace, the Palace of Flowers and Water, was built in Deep Harrow. Deep Harrow is this area in the bottom of Timberland that no one goes to. It's mostly ancient hickory trees whose girth is just ginormous, whose depth in the ground is ginormous. You can't even see the roots. There's no, crawling roots like you see in so many old forests. The trees are so deeply planted, and then there's so much undergrowth all over the place that briars and all kinds of mess. It is very, very difficult to enter into the Deep Harrow. No one goes there. There's no humanoids in there, orcs, and all of that stuff. Primarily because it was the home of Tefnut's. It was Tefnut's home. This is where it got coming. When she dwelt in the world before the dwarves began to spread out and things began to change after the War of the Gods, this is where Tefnut the goddess dwelt. So the magic, the residual magic of her still it's laced in the soil, it's laced in the trees, it's in the very air. It's just a dangerous place for evil to go. It's a dangerous place for even good creatures to go who are not aligned to Tefnut. Tefnut is one of the gods that, when I say the named Val Ericune in the world of air, this is 12 gods that are exceedingly powerful. So much so that their understanding of mortals is just a momentary thought. They don't really think much along the lines of what mortals are thinking or whatever. And so even their definitions of good and evil become, vague around it, less than what you or I may want. And the Deep Harrow is the place that Tefnut dwelt, and Tefnut's the river goddess, the goddess of rivers and lakes and whatnot. A goddess of good, but one of extraordinary ire and could be vengeful. She often led the pack in the wars on Orandul, which is another one of the named Valerica. And the Deep Harrow is where she dwelt. The palace of flowers and water was built out of giant trees woven together and fleshed out with water on a series of lakes. So the whole thing looks like I think I described it in the Dwarven Trace as a marbled green hall is essentially what it is. But the Deep Harrow is the ancient hunting ground, the ancient dwelling of Tefnut, and it's somewhere where very few people go. And it is where the mouth of the Ardeen River is supposed to be. And the Ardeen River is one of the largest rivers in the world of Erd. And it is rumored that the mouth of the river, the headwaters of the Ardeen, are flush with Tefnut's power and her magic and can bring everlasting life. So many people, many wizards and magi ponder on going into Deep Harrow. If any have gone in, none have come out, all in search of eternal life, the well springs that we all seek after.
So just in that area, or is it actually part of the river where the supposed?
Presumably, the Palace of Water or the Palace of Flowers and Water is in the lakes that palace is built. That is where the mouth, the headwaters of the Ardeen rivers is, and to drink of them will give you everlasting life.
See, for some reason, I thought that Tefnut was in the Amber Sea. I don't know why I thought that.
No, Aelor is the god of seas. Tefnut is the god of...
There's my confusion. Thank you.
Yeah. Tefnut is the god of rivers and lakes and ponds and any kind of...
Right, I forgot about Aelor. Absolutely right. Because that's a whole other weird... We should talk about him sometime. That's some crazy stuff.
We should absolutely, because he's one of my favorite gods. Tefnut is one of my favorite gods too. Aelor is for a different reason, because he really... The way... When he looks at the world, everything is funny to Aelor. Even tragedy is funny to him because he sees it from such a... it's like one of my favorite stories to tell of my oldest brother, Zane. When I was a kid, I took all of my cowboys and my Native Americans, and I stood them all up on my brother's dresser, on Davis's dresser. And I had a bureau and Davis had a dresser. And I stood them all up about an inch apart, maybe not even that. Probably I was going to have this gigantic battle. And Zane came walking in, and he said, "What happens if there's an earthquake?" And I was like, "What? There's not going to be an earthquake?" And then he shook the dresser. So a few of them fell. And of course, they all fell down. And Zane thought it was quite funny. I actually thought it was quite funny too. And that's how I see Aelor. Some of the tragic things that have happened to his creations, he just found rather humorous because they're not him. So what does he really care? Tefnut's a little bit different. Tefnut sees her creations as an extension of herself. And when anyone messes or mucks with them, she becomes extraordinarily enraged, and that's why in the battles with Orandul, she rose so very, very quickly to fight him.
I see. So she takes it personally. What you're saying?
She takes it. That's a good way of putting it. She takes it very, very personal. Yes, very personal. She's probably the only of the gods when the Corthane of the named gods. So Corthane is probably, arguably, the most powerful. Though Mordias and Orandul are right there with him. But when Corthane cast the judgment of Corthane upon the world, forbidding the gods to interact with mortals, everyone had to obey except the named Valerica. They didn't have to. They chose to. And Orndul, of course, was dead at the moment. But Tefnut is the only one who rebelled against that. She's like, you know what? Maybe not, big brother. Maybe not.
Kev Con asked a great question. I was going to ask something similar. In the book, it says that one of the sacrifices that clerics make, it said specifically clerics, is that they would basically supply a spell basically sacrifice a spell for a time in exchange for power to be granted by her later. Right? Doesn't mention paladin or anything, but Kev was asking, do they have paladins that represent her on them?
There would be paladins of Tefnut, but they'd be very rare. Even her worship in this modern era is not commonly done. When the paladins kind of spread throughout and they spread their own religions, especially post Winter Dark, the worship of Durandal and Saint Luther began to just dominate everything throughout the valleys of Kaomar. And Tefnut's kind of driven to the fringe of most of the worshippers here. But you would have some paladins definitely who would dedicate themselves to Tefnut service and whatnot. And they would be wearing, very intricate flowing plate mail, with the plumes and whatnot. They would be extraordinarily fantastic, I think, in their display. The key to Tefnut is flowing water. Though she is the goddess of lakes and rivers, the key is moving water, river water specifically. That's where her power lies. That's where her lust lies. That's where all of her design and creation lies. Is in moving water. One of the more macabre and things to do in Ered, if a child of yours dies, you're to wrap that child, and if you place that child in a moving a river and in some kind of moving body of water, Tefnut will take the child up and add its soul to her legion of warriors that serve her in the afterlife. So her army is made up of these children spirits, if you will.
I dropped a link in everybody's interested in Ered. That's our category on the store. It's got all kinds of stuff. The gods are in the Codex of Ered, fully illustrated with color holy symbols, very detailed. In fact, that's where I usually ask my questions from when I'm asking Steve. I'm in there creeping around, trying to learn what I can about it. Excuse me. And
it's a mountainous amount of material in Codex of Ered. There's also Monsters and Treasures of Ered, and then I think we've got 7 or 8 of the expansion books out, and I'm working on the next one. Should be done soon.
So there are. I'll read it off to you, Steve, just so you know what's on the store. We've got the Codex of Ered, the Trail Guide of Ered, the Dictionary of Ered, the full map, Monsters and Treasures of Ered, the 8 expansions that are out, 7 in a bundle. The Ananduith is on there. The Undying War is on there. Beneath the Canopy Green is on there. There's an adventure series. There's some custom screens on there, CK screen. There's a bundle for the expansions and a bundle for the main product, which is the book and the screen. And then one of your adventures, some adventures you wrote, Winter's, basically a lot of adventures. Most of the adventures related to Ered are on there too in that category. The newest one being Winter's Bite. I think that's the newest one, which I love. And let's see. Oh, and there's a Foundry thing on there for Undying War. It looks like not Foundry. Oh, it's a digital aspect of maps. So a varied amount of stuff for sure.
Yeah, just to let everybody know, one of the things we don't offer at the moment is an updated map. And the reason that we don't offer that is as I write these expansion books, some of this material is being added. Some of these terrain features that aren't currently on the map are being added. For instance, in the Dwarven Trace, just today, I added the Petal Islands, the Hedge Coast, and the Callous Grasslands. And this is terrain that's on the map that you have, but it's unnamed. So we're going through. You can get and I'll give Chuck probably Monday. I'll give him the updated PDF for the Lands of Ursula map. That's this map on the wall behind me with these names added. So, and you can download it for free. You can go grab that map and you'll have the PDF. And as soon as I'm done with the expansion books, I'll be done with adding descriptors for these specific types of terrain from areas of terrain. And then we will offer the full map out, much like we do the world map.
And then you, every one of you that are on along for the journey will be able to see it grow and change. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't have it. Well, I actually don't have a copy of the Saline, Matthew. I need to get one too. I've got a PDF copy, I guess, since I put it on the store, but I haven't looked at it yet. So I don't know. KevCon's got a really cool question. How does Tefnut regard Corthane?
That is a fantastic question. And the first word that comes to mind is contempt. She looked at Corthane as misguided. And so just for those of you who don't know, when the Allfather created the first of the gods, Corthane, Mordias, and Orndul are the first, and each one of them interacts with the Allfather in a very particular way, so that each one of them believes they understand what the Allfather's design was. Now, Tefnut is not one of those gods. Tefnut is a goddess she's created in that, but she doesn't have that direct interaction. Now, it's very important to note that each one of those three gods, Orndul, Corthane, and Mordias, all have different views of what they think the Allfather wanted going forward. Very conflicting views. So Tefnut has nothing to do with any of that. She looks at them as being misguided, and she looks at Corthane with utter contempt, because Corthane has nothing to do with the world of Aaron other than to guard the vision, as he sees it, of the Allfather. So he sits on the first wind out in the void, kind of watching the world as it is unfolding, really doing very little to help or hinder or to do whatever. Whereas Tefnut, she saw the world very early on, saw the struggles that the Allfather was having, trying to form it in his own vision, swooped into the world, and she's the one that carves the rivers. She's the one that sets this water to flowing. That is her act of creation. So she looks at Corthane with contempt, though there's respect there, because she understands that, much like with Orndul or with Mordias the Green, that she doesn't have the power to oversee any one of those three.
Right.
Only maybe if she banded with other of the Valar Raccoon, then they would stand a chance. But those three are extraordinarily powerful. So I would say guarded respect and contempt is how, and a little bit of unbridled rage. I always look at Tefnut like I look at a river. And rivers is this constant movement of forward motion, and that's Tefnut constantly moving forward. And if you're not, what does he say? Whatever expression I was rolling around in my head. But
if you're not going forward, you're going backward.
Yeah, that type of thing. Right. Yeah, and that's how she looks at Corthane. He's just,
right. And Alan from GMS asked, any chance of a scaled Hexlayer map on that map? Absolutely. When we get finished with it, we're going to make sure there's a layer you can cut off and on.
Yeah, we'll do it for the PDF. We'll have the whole thing. How's it going, Alan? We'll have the whole thing set up and we're good to go.
Yeah. DMs, you're going to love this. DM Center says, my favorite entry from the Monsters and Treasures of Verity is for the Dragonhide boots. They're indestructible and usually worn by very cool people.
Yeah. I think that's a reference to Todd's character. Yeah, and I have to say, I'm very irritated at Jeremy because he cut my joke that had been in the monster shambling mound, whatever. And
did he? I didn't sketch that. Boo!
Cut it out. Boo, Jeremy.
I know, right? A good question from Chris.
GB, Steve likes Tefnut because Rivers is how he kills all of his players. Yes, I love Rivers.
Well, he's going to ask you. He said, "Is A13 plus coming sometime?"
Yes, yeah. That is. We had Chuck Davis had this long conversation about what we're doing early next year. So a huge gap opened up with the building kind of falling apart and Barsoom being kicked back. A huge gap opened up in the schedule for what we wanted to do. And what we decided was to take Outstrag, since levels 13, A13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 are all done. They need new art and then a tight edit or whatever. And I want to make a few small changes. We're going to kickstart those and get those back into print next year. Early next year, we're going to kickstart them on our backer kit on January 3rd. You'll see that page probably go up Thursday so that you can pre-sign up for that. We'll start jibber-jabbering about it. So that'll get those in, and the stretch rewards will be built around A18, 19. I've almost finished A18, then A19 and A20, and Davis is going to jump in and help me with the Outstrag as we stack it out now. Things have gotten very. I'm gonna regret saying this. Where's some wood? I need to knock on wood. Things have gotten very even keeled around here. Everybody's working like crazy, and I've been able for the past month to really step up my game and get. I finished the Tarvine Belt, and I'm going to finish the Dwarven Trace this week, and I managed to sandwich the Tally of Fiends into that as well. So if I can keep this pace going, and I think that I can, then by the time we're launching this Outstrag Kickstarter, I should be well into closing up the Arid expansion books, and then all my focus shifts to Outstrag until I get that done. You guys left a mark, and I'm remembering it. We're going to get these things done so you guys can get into it and start playing it. Yeah, it's a lot on one man. It's a lot of adventures. Davis was cussing me the other day. He said, "Couldn't you have it like 7 levels? Why'd you have to have 21? Yeah, it's a lot.
All right. Let's see. I think we're caught up on all the questions, and it is late in the afternoon.
It is time to call it because I'm starving to death and I have no dinner.
I have a pizza that got here at 30 minutes ago. So
Oh, you need it. Well, then
she was
let's
like,
call
"You want it now?" And I was like, "Nah," because I hate watching you watch me eat. I know you're starving. I feel sorry for you. So
Yeah. Well, thank you, Chuck.
it's all good. That's all we can do.
Do we have a raffle going?
We don't have a raffle going. And
Well, then
this
let's
will
just say good night, everybody.
was it good.
Or did you,
Good
you have
morning,
something?
good afternoon, and good night, everyone. We will be back probably no more this week for streaming, I think, because I'll be gone Friday at the convention. So
Oh, that's right.
yeah, so I'm not sure, but if not, you'll catch us next Monday in our game. Steve was nice enough to cancel this week so I could recover a little better, which I'm doing much better now. So
Yeah.
it kind of works, you know.
It was a good Halloween. Well, thank you all for showing up today. And we'll be. I think Grace may have a stream tomorrow night. Actually. I
Oh,
think
that's
she
right. I
might.
keep forgetting she switched that. It's on Wednesday nights.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Turned around. But
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
so Grace will be on with the air stuff tomorrow, and we will see you guys in the next coming days.
No, that sounds really good. All right.
Wait, it's tonight. She says it's tonight. Actually.
Oh, it's
for
tonight.
both of you.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Oh
Wait,
yeah. Well, no, we're talking about your other stream. I did that already. I'm
wait,
talking about the other. One.
Your readings in aired. I'm not sure you were doing. So anyways,
Yeah. I don't
check
know.
back. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, just follow the channel. That's all we can ask, because we're all
He's
crazy.
like, yeah, that too.
Oh, that's good. All right, well, we're going to hop out of here, everybody. We really appreciate you so much. Everyone have a great evening. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you on the flip side. All right.